Hey Internet, welcome to Worldview Everlasting, your favorite YouTube addiction, and this is your daily fix. There's an article on the Federalist today. It's about dating and love in the modern world. It says that the problem is fires don't burn indefinitely unless you keep adding more wood. And so the idea is for the modern couple, you need to keep adding wood to fan into flame the romantic fire. The answer that it gives, though, after all of the dating advice and sexologist information is polyamory. Stable, parenting, unmarried couple who are experimenting with multiple love partners in order to foster romance between themselves. Isn't it just what we've all always wanted? And if you think this is just sick and weird, then you gotta know you're coming at that from a Christian worldview that is in counterculture with everything that's going on in American society today. What this article is proposing makes perfect sense in the world in which we live, that is, freed from the grip of government, parents, and religion, living without fear of God or respect for parental authority, having the punitive, authoritative man in the clouds no longer be real for a person. It's sad to me that that's the best we can come up with when we're talking about who Jesus is and what he's done, that is the image that Christianity has presented to the world, as opposed to the God who doesn't stay up in the clouds but comes down into our midst to bear the actual burdens we have in the wounds and bloody lashes of his cross. What probably is at the crux of this article is the rejection of authority on the foundational belief that autonomy is actually the most romantic thing in the world. That is, to be a law unto oneself is the real hope of happiness in the human condition. Not only is it the answer to the wedded misery that one sees all around, as if we've actually been getting married according to the biblical plan in the first place, but behind this is still that desire to simply do what I want to do when I want to do it, which is not only the definition, more or less, of original sin and the problem of the fall, which Jesus has redeemed us from, but is also the common theme of postmodern philosophy. The idea that a person's will to power, their hunger for what they want, and the ability to get others to let them do it is in fact the highest virtue in a chaotic world without meaning evolved out of nothing. The question I would have for the author is, do you realize it's not going to make you happy? It's still going to fall apart. The fire is still going to burn low, and disappointment is still going to be the day in, day out reality at the end of it. I do have some questions about how you plan to raise a child without parental authority being part of your worldview, and I certainly think it's interesting that this entire thing by the end of the article becomes a war cry of discrimination in which the gay married couple are the bad guys because they're getting privileges from the government and you're not. But I would submit to you, when you say that your partner and you are not legally married and have no plans to be, but that there's really no difference between you and those who are, the security that comes with a monogamous relationship that is steadfast to the end for the sake of the children rather than for the sake of ourselves, and the belief that this entire world's all disappearing anyway in the life of the world to come when Jesus returns, certainly presents a different view of household life, at least so far as I'm concerned. I'd have to say that at least in my worldview, there's a tremendous difference, and that would be the forgiveness of sins. There's something about fidelity and steadfast love that certainly transcends the hedonistic eros of lust. Rock on.